Greetings, my people of the tarot. It's a lovely snowy day in New Hampshire. So, this is a VR to Amber of Lavender Moon, and we're talking about what she calls paranormal, and I guess I shall call it paranormal activity. She had her mother come to her and her son, and she does a very nice video about it. So I'm going to talk about people that have passed in my life and the messages that I have gotten from them. So I'll just leave that to this, and then I'll be doing another video for some announcements. Okay, I want to start first off with my dear friend Sally. You know how we meet people and we connect with them instantly? It's like we probably knew each other in a past life, and we picked up right where we left off. So Sally was somebody like that I met, picked up where we left off. She was a horsewoman, grew up on a farm like I did, older than me, but age doesn't matter. She was in her late 60s. She's a very good friend. We would chat every night on Facebook. Usually we go over to Skype and chat. And there was a couple other ladies that would chat with us, and we'd laugh so hard that I cracked my rib, which is bothering me right now. Kind of weird, huh? And we just had a great time, and I'd meet up in Massachusetts at a horse rescue that she volunteered up. Us ladies would get together once in a while and have lunch. A couple of times I had lunch, just me and Sally, and I really loved her like a sister. I really loved her very much. She had health issues, which we were all well aware of. If you ask me, she drank too much Diet Coke. But anyway, we had a nice chat one evening in December, and I had only known Sally for a couple of years. We said our good nights. I saw an odd post by her daughter the next evening, and I'm like, for some reason, she wanted somebody from our group to get in touch with her. And I was like, I had just prepared supper, and I'm like, I don't want to deal with that right now. I need to eat my supper first before I deal with that. And then of course, another person had gotten in touch with her daughter, and we had found out that she had passed away during the night. And so that was quite shocking and difficult, because I didn't really expect it. I really only had that premonition. I only had a couple premonitions before, like when we said goodnight that night. That felt weird. Like, oh, that would be awful if that was the last time I chatted with Sally. And then when I noticed the post that her daughter wanted somebody to get in touch with her that knew her mother, that it was like, I knew then, I think. But anyway, I don't know how long it was after she passed, but this happened in a dream state, but I truly believe it was totally real. She came into me in a dream, and she was holding my hands, and we were talking. Oh, and I also remember that the last time that I saw her in person, that I remember studying her face, because I didn't want to forget her face. That was another little premonition that we just pay attention, but it's kind of there in memory. So in the dream, we're holding hands, and we had this long conversation, and she was telling me that it really wasn't that bad on the other side. And she was joking around that they still had to buy gas, and that they still had all this, but she was really just joking. So we had this really long conversation, and then my alarm went off, and I was so upset my alarm went off, because I'm like, Sally, I don't want to leave. I'm really enjoying you. I said, I gotta go. I gotta wake up. And she's like, it's okay, because I'm always here for you when you need me. And I woke up from that, and I felt sad, but I felt at peace. I felt at peace because she was at peace. And even though I grieved for her, and now it's been, my dad's been gone for 7, so holy crapola. Holy crapola. It's probably been, she died 2 years after my father, so it's been 5 years since she's been gone. So she's been gone twice as long as I knew her, but she was the kind of person that I will never forget. One of her sayings was, once in a while I complain about the long drive, 2-hour drive to Massachusetts. She said, don't worry about the miles or the drive, just enjoy the ride. And I use that in my metaphor for life now. Now, the other person that passed was my dad, and a whole bunch of things happened around his passing. And that was seeing people there were waiting on his deathbed, seeing them lined up, waiting for him to pass. One of them was my mother's brother, my uncle, and I couldn't understand why there was a couple of Native American people waiting for him, because that didn't make sense, because we're not, as far as I can tell, we don't have a lot of Native American blood in us. Might be a little bit sprinkled on my mother's side just because we've been in New England for so long. But that shocked me, but then I remembered that my father had a really good pal when he was in the service that was a Native American, and they had quite the friendship during the wartime anyway. So anyway, I didn't have a great relationship with my father. My father was a World War II veteran, and anybody that knows that will understand that because most of the people I've talked to that have World War II veterans, and it could go for any war veteran, they have split personalities, and so they can be extremely difficult to deal with, especially during my father's era. There was no psychological help returning from war. They didn't have any of that. It was toughen up, get married, have your kids, that was it. So my father had a lot of anger, and that would come out. And he didn't really know how to be a father, but it wasn't that he didn't want to provide for us, and it wasn't that he didn't love us. It was there, but it was buying things for us, making sure we had what we needed. That was being the provider. That was the way he could really show his love. And he was adventurous, and we went on a lot of adventures, but they always came with a price. It was like, and my dad was a good person, but he was split. Basically, he was split. So after he passed, I had a lot of dreams about him, and I realized most of the dreams, my dad swore a lot, so there was a lot, but it's like we kept going over and over things, and I kept saying to him, Dad, you're dead. Dad, you're dead. Okay, why are you bothering me? And I realized that we were actually working out stuff that needed to be worked out. And then one of the very last times in the dream space, and these dreams were not like your other dreams that are fleeting and go away. These are dreams that stick with you, and they are real. And so I don't like to make videos too long, so I'll end with this shortly, and I'll do another video about another experience I had in a dream a long time ago. But I want to finish this up. So my dad swore a lot, like I said. And I came down the stairs in the dream time, and my dad was sitting at the kitchen table where he often sat. And I said, to him, Dad, you're dead, you know, what are you doing here? And he looks at me, just like my father. It was him. He said to me, God damn it, honey, I know I'm dead. Damn it all. He said, but I like to come back and visit your mother. Is that all right with you? And I said, yes, you may. That is all right with me. Just don't hurt her. And I went back upstairs, and I've told my mother about it, and I've told some other family members, and they don't doubt it for an instant, because, you know, they said that was so my father. He even slammed his fist on the table, and that was so my father. And I mean, some people would say it was just my dreams. No, it wasn't just my dreams. These people that have passed, that came to me in my dreams, that was the way they could reach me. That's where I was open, and that's where I could remember. Now now I don't dream about my father, but if I'm working on a project, and my dad saved a lot of stuff, right? So if I'm looking for something, I'm like, okay, Dad, I know there must be something around here I can use for my project. Help me find it. And 9 times out of 10, it'll be exactly where I need it. So just because somebody has passed over does not mean that you can't be into contact with them. I don't doubt it for 1 minute. I do believe my father has moved on, and he did quite a few years ago. I think he reincarnated, and I knew who he reincarnated into, and I've told people about that. And I believe that he is a cousin to a cousin's son, and I have told the parents and my cousin, and he doesn't doubt it for an instant, because he's a lot like my father. So, you know, but I still think there's a part of the person he was that is his soul that is still available to us and will be. You know, death is not the end. That's what I've learned. It hurts. Doesn't mean it's easy. It was not easy losing my father. I don't miss his anger at all, but I do miss the things we enjoyed talking about. So I don't want to go too long, because I don't, you know, I like to keep them short. So that's it for now for this video. Until next time, over and out. Oop, gotta hit the right button.